Just to have, oh God, just to have power again. And not only have power, but have the looks. You know, the whole reason that I bought the 954, when I first, you know, Travis let me ride his 600 F6 or F3 or yeah, it was an F3, I think, the fucking CBR, right. 600 F3 or whatever. The first time that he let me ride that and I got to taste his speed, I went and bought that 954 because not only was it crazy looking, but it was the fastest bike he could buy as far as a sport bike at that time. And when I got the Valkyrie, you know, you lose the speed. It still had that cool look where people come out of a place and check it out, but now that it's got a turbo on it, not only is it a head turner and something that people look at it and are like, what the hell is that? But the power is beyond the sport bikes I've had. The pull is harder, so I got the speed back. I got something that blows people away as far as looking at it. And it's a good feeling.
Yeah, ultimate machine.
It's the best, man. It's like I feel like a little kid, man, getting the first big wheel or something, man. You are the baddest kid on the block. You got a big wheel, yeah. You know. You got a tricycle, man. You ain't got nothing. Look at this. I got a big wheel, man. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me. Yeah, it's just a great feeling. It's great. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to do it, man.
Well, hopefully you get some more work out of it, man. Hopefully somebody else sees it and they want a turbo, and then when you turbo a few more Valkyries, we'll have to do something different because I like having the one of a kind. Yeah.
Well, it's man, a lot of people don't have it in them, to be honest with you. A lot of people are scared to make that jump, be different, be a change, you know. But it's like you said earlier, you know, after you ride it, you're thinking, man, why have I never owned anything that had a turbo on it ever in my life? Ever.
Yeah, it really is mind-boggling. How come I haven't went down that road? You know, I just didn't know.
And most people don't. That's the thing about it. You know,
I just didn't know how much pull it has. It's crazy. It's scary. It feels good.
And it's not near as complicated as people think. I mean, there's a lot going on. There is, but if you got the right guy doing it, somebody knows what they're doing. You can take a lot of the scare out of it. You know, that's why I made that manual for you. You know, so you can read through it, take a little of the scare, like a little edge off of it.
Right.
And of course, you know that any problems or any issues we may have come across or any questions that you have, you can always give me a call.
I don't think that grin on my face when that boost kicks in will ever go away. You know,
no,
it's one of them things where every time you pull it.
The real funny thing about that is, of course, right now we got a stock clutch and a stock clutch spring.
Right.
It's only going to handle so much power.
Right.
Which is kind of what we want. We don't, if we don't want it to handle everything, because then you're going to start finding the weak links. And we're not trying to produce race cars or race bikes.
Right.
We're just trying to, something we have a little fun with. Here and there. When you want to. When you want to twist the throttle, you can.
Yeah.
And you don't have a nitrous bottle to fill. You don't have to always put race gas in it. You can if you wanted to. If you knew you were going to go out ripping on it all day long over the mountains or something.
Right.
Sure, go ahead and throw a little in it. Just be a little extra precaution. But if it ever got to that point where you're like, you know what, we need to do something. We need to do something more. I want more. I want to feel more. A simple boost controller, mechanical valve you put inline to that wastegate. You could push 30 psi of that turbo if you wanted to. Can you imagine the amount of power that would make? I mean, of course, you'd have to boost the clutch up. You'd have to do something with the ignition and the timing.
I can't ever see me one that much more power. I mean, that's really, especially coming from sport bikes. That's the power that I want, and more than that is
that's kind of why I'm
really.
Glad that it ended up being a 12 psi wastegate for the fact of. You're not going to sit 12 constantly. It's only the upper RPM ranges. You're going to hit, 5 to 8 consistently. When you're just ripping on around town or whatever.
Right.
But when you want that extra rush at 12, it's there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I won't want that all the time. When I'm getting in it. I mean, it's extreme.
It is
power. It's extreme. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, dude. Oh man, it's like if you could just have that on tap at all times, and I do now on the bike. I got that extreme power on tap. Like you said, no filling bottles, no nothing. Just pull the throttle and you're there.
Yeah.
You go to pass a car, or you're on the highway. You don't need a mile to pass a car.
Yeah.
You need a few feet.
And after
That's
riding
about
that
it.
stock one today, it's like, oh my God, day and night difference between the two. When we left that stoplight, you didn't know I was going to gun it. I got the jump on you because I pinned it first.
Yeah, and I didn't even floor it. I didn't even pin it. I was just getting a little bit of boost in there. I was like,
And
see ya.
I hit second, and you were just, bye. What the, oh shit. Wow.
All these things start going through your head too, and it starts to pull. You know,
it doesn't feel right. You instinctively want to let off.
Yeah, right.
Because you're like, what?
Yeah, like something's going wrong here. Like this is pulling way too hard. Something's gonna blow up. And that's the first time I actually pulled it all the way back to locking point on the throttle was on that other block when I was on the other side over there. That's why I was all shaking when I got off and had the giggles. That just like, man, I had no idea it was that hard. I mean, from pulling the boost the few times that I did, I thought I was close, but I wasn't close at all. No. I was a long ways from. I put it all the way back, and
that's the thing about, yes, it's unreal, is it not? It's just,
unreal.
It literally is. I mean, that's the best way you can describe it, as being unreal. It just feels like you're in a freaking dream. There's no way.
It does, like a video game, like a. It is. Yeah. It's unreal. You don't feel like you're in the real rules of what's going on. You just step out of the box.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I said when I built the ZRX, and I felt it, and I thought, holy shit, I'm hooked. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my nitrous, I love my dope.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know that I could ever build a nitrous, full out nitrous, unless it was just a full out race in car.
Right.
I don't think I can do the nitrous anymore.
Right.
You know, it's just the turbo is just
not after feeling that.
No,
I mean, and I've never felt nitrous, so I don't know what.
Honestly, I mean, I hate to say this, but you ain't missing nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
I couldn't imagine it being any faster. I mean, unless
the only difference between it is it doesn't build like that does. Well, you can make it build like it's instantaneous.
Instant, yeah.
You know, for the most part, on a small shot, you can't do on a bike. You can't do a 200 shot instantaneously. It's just not. You're going to instantly flip over, or blow something up with the engine. The engine's not set up for it, or you have to progressively. You had to get a controller to progressively control that nitrous in. But let's just say you put a 50 shot on it. Sure, I've done 50 shot on the button.
Now, when you hit the button,
it's instantaneous, 50 horsepower, boom.
But can you stop it?
Yeah, let off the button.
Oh, okay. So like when you hit the button, it doesn't just like you can let off and it's out.
Yeah.
You don't. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost instantaneous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never felt the nitrous, but nor would I have the need to now. I'm so happy, dude.
Oh yeah, you don't really have with that. It's just unreal, and that's almost the thing I love about the turbo is like a lot of people. I don't know if somebody wants to call that term lag is building the boost up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call that lag, like the boost is instant. Like if you're going 70 mile an hour down the highway on that Valkyrie and you go to pass somebody, if you as soon as you roll on throttle, instantly it's at the 4 psi.
Yeah.
And of course, if you go ahead and roll it all the way to the lock, it's not instantaneously 12 psi.
Right.
It has to build
to that.
So are you? If you're calling that lag, then I like that lag because it gives you this like I don't know, that feeling of acceleration.